Have you ever wondered about the forbidden fruit? Have you questioned what Eve truly ate in the Garden of Eden? Enoch visited the Garden of Eden and unveiled the truth to us. Believe me, 90% of people have never heard this fact. Welcome to our channel, where we delve deep into the Bible's history to uncover hidden truths and tell fascinating stories. Don't forget to subscribe if you love our discovery-driven content to stay updated with our upcoming intriguing videos. Today, we'll explore the forbidden fruit that Eve consumed. Some theories suggest it was an apple, while others interpret the forbidden fruit as a symbol of sexual intimacy. For centuries, various theories have been proposed, but today, we will look at the forbidden fruit through the revelations of Enoch. Among the sacred texts, this theory stands out as one of the most compelling, and we'll explore three of the most popular interpretations. Stay with us, as this is just the beginning of an extraordinary journey. For those new to the story of Adam, Eve, and the serpent, let's first provide some context. Eve, the first woman, was formed by God to serve as Adam's companion, as recounted in the book of Genesis. According to the Bible, God put Adam into a deep sleep, took one of his ribs, and created Eve to accompany him. This marks the beginning of the story of Mother Eve, regarded as the mother of all living beings. For those who want to dive deeper into the story of Adam and Eve, we have a specific video about it. Visit our channel to explore this intriguing tale. Regarding the serpent, the Bible doesn't elaborate on how it was created like it does with Adam and Eve, but it states, "The serpent was more crafty than any other beast of the field that the Lord God had made." Genesis 3:1. Some people believe that the serpent in this account was Lucifer, but the book of Enoch suggests otherwise. During his heavenly exploration, Enoch learned that the serpent was actually a fallen angel named Gadriel. One angel told Enoch, "The third was Gadriel. He taught the children of men all the deadly blows, and he deceived Eve, leading them to the ways of destruction." This clarifies that Gadriel was the deceiver of Eve, steering humanity down the wrong path. Gadriel belonged to the group of fallen angels who rebelled against God's plans and worked to bring ruin to humankind. Eve, after her creation, enjoyed life in a magnificent garden, spending a typical day in her existence. She had access to everything except the freedom she envisioned. Apparently, Adam didn't emphasize the rule about avoiding interaction with strangers, but Eve was already aware of God's ultimate commandment. "You may eat freely of any tree in the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat it you shall surely die." Eve didn't resist temptation for long. The book of Enoch recounts that Gadriel approached Eve, asking, "Did God say, 'You must not eat from any tree in the garden'?" Eve answered, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but about the fruit of the tree in the center, God said, 'You must not eat or touch it, or you will die.'" Gadriel responded, "You will not die. God knows that the day you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." This interaction is pivotal. Gadriel, part of Lucifer's group, deceived Eve by blending truth with lies. He exploited her desire for knowledge and power, presenting disobedience as a means to gain wisdom rather than defiance. Deceivers often use this strategy, offering something desirable while hiding its consequences. As we know, Eve succumbed to Gadriel's temptation, ate the forbidden fruit, and shared it with Adam, leading to humanity's fall. Eve's consumption of the forbidden fruit opened her eyes to good and evil, but what was this fruit? The Bible does not describe its type or appearance, so we turn to the book of Enoch for deeper insights. Enoch, a prominent biblical figure, is known for walking with God. Genesis tells us that Enoch lived a holy life and was taken directly to heaven by God, bypassing death. His life reflects his deep relationship with God and his righteousness. Enoch is often portrayed as a prophet and recorder of divine revelations. In the Bible, he also acts as a mediator between God and the fallen angels, underscoring his steadfast devotion to the Creator. The Book of Enoch provides a deeper look into the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Guided through various heavenly realms by angels, Enoch was eventually brought to the Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve once dwelled. Enoch is notably one of the few individuals to have visited the Garden of Eden after Adam and Eve's expulsion. His account provides the most detailed and intimate perspective of the tree of knowledge, as seen by someone who walked with God. Enoch wrote, "Then I traveled eastward to the center of the desert mountains, where I observed a barren region filled with trees and plants. Streams of water descended from above, flowing abundantly to the northwest, spreading clouds and mist all around. As Enoch journeyed through the desert, he reached the eastern side of the mountains, encountering trees that exuded the aroma of frankincense and myrrh, as well as trees resembling almond trees in shape. Moving further east, he came upon a water-filled valley with a tree that emitted a resin-like fragrance. On either side of the valley, cinnamon shrubs released their distinctive and powerful aroma. Beyond this, Enoch discovered additional lush mountains. In these mountains, trees exuded sweet substances like sarara and galbanum. Aloe trees with white blossoms resembling almond flowers stood prominently, and when burned, their scent surpassed all others in sweetness. Many have interpreted Enoch's descriptions as referring to various sections of the Garden of Eden. Though desolate, this desert harbored vibrant and rare life forms. Enoch ventured into a special area where trees produced frankincense and myrrh, substances revered in ancient rituals for their sacredness and association with God's presence. Heading to the northern mountains, Enoch described the 7 mountains, rich with resin, cinnamon, and pepper. Crossing the Arthan Sea and meeting the angel Zotiel, he reached the Garden of Righteousness, where massive trees filled the air with pleasant scents. At the heart of this garden stood the tree of wisdom, towering like a cedar, with carob-like leaves and grape-like fruits, radiating a profound aroma. Enoch was mesmerized by this tree, and the angel Raphael, his guide, said, "This is the tree of wisdom, the one your ancestors Adam and Eve ate from. Upon eating its fruit, their eyes were opened, and they became aware of their nakedness, which led to their expulsion from the Garden of Eden." Angel Raphael, who guided Enoch across various heavenly and earthly realms, affirmed that this tree was indeed the one Adam and Eve ate from before being cast out of the divine garden. Enoch provided a vivid description of the tree of knowledge. "I entered the Garden of Righteousness and saw towering trees, fragrant, grand, and beautiful. The tree of wisdom, whose fruit brought profound knowledge, stood tall like a fir tree, with leaves similar to those of a carob tree, and its fruit resembled grape clusters. Its fragrance spread widely." According to Enoch, the tree's fruit resembled grape clusters, bringing to mind bunches of grapes. These clusters consist of numerous fruits attached to a single long stem, each with its own smaller stem. Enoch's description suggests the forbidden fruit may have shared these traits. Can we confirm the accuracy of Enoch's account? Without witnessing it firsthand, certainty is elusive. Nevertheless, Enoch's detailed vision offers a compelling narrative, and he may have been correct in many aspects. Genesis 2 also speaks of Eden's trees, describing them as pleasing to the eye and good for food, with the tree of life in the garden and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Even the Bible notes Eve's attraction to the forbidden fruit, stating, "The woman saw that the tree was good for food, pleasing to the eye, and desirable for gaining wisdom, so she took and ate it." Similarly, Enoch's depiction of a tree in the Garden of Righteousness includes fruit resembling grape clusters, beautiful and aromatic, with its fragrance spreading far. Across these accounts, The tree is consistently portrayed as alluring and tied to the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom. The association of the forbidden fruit with an apple likely stems from linguistic ambiguity. In Latin, malum means both apple and evil. This overlap may have contributed to the apple's symbolic link with sin in the story of Adam and Eve, though the Bible never specifies the fruit's type. With Christianity's spread across Europe, the apple became an emblem of the forbidden fruit, especially in art and culture. Renaissance artists often depicted the apple as a symbol in scenes of humanity's fall. A notable instance is Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel fresco, where the apple prominently appears in the depiction of the fall. Such artistic choices embedded the apple as the forbidden fruit in cultural memory. In European literature and art, the apple became a recurring symbol of temptation and sin, further reinforcing its connection to the forbidden fruit. As Christianity became more central to cultural life, the symbol of the forbidden fruit was further solidified. The King James Bible played a significant role in this process, even though it never identified the specific fruit. The widespread influence of this translation, coupled with depictions of apples in art and literature, ingrained the image of the forbidden fruit as an apple in public consciousness. It's crucial to note that this association is largely rooted in historical and cultural evolution rather than direct biblical support. The Bible and extra-biblical texts provide no concrete evidence that the forbidden fruit was an apple. Although Enoch described a fruit resembling a cluster of grapes, the Bible does not give any precise details about the nature of the forbidden fruit. Despite this, the misconception that it was an apple has persisted over time. In many Western paintings and cultural works, the apple has become the symbol of the forbidden fruit. However, grapes hold far greater significance in biblical imagery. Grapes are not only spiritually meaningful, but are also often cited as symbols of fertility, blessings, and abundance. Their frequent mentions in the Bible highlight the link between God's grace and nature's richness. One prominent example is found in Numbers 13:23, where Moses' spies report back from the land of Canaan, carrying an enormous cluster of grapes that required 2 men to transport. This scene illustrates the promised land's fertility and God's blessings for the Israelites. In the New Testament, Jesus employed the metaphor of the vine to communicate deep spiritual truths. In John 15:1-8, he said, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me, as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine. You are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples." In this context, the vine and its fruit represent a deep spiritual bond between Jesus and his followers, highlighting the significance of nurturing that connection to produce good fruit. Grapes also appear in the context of divine judgment. In Revelation 14:18-20, they are trampled in the winepress of God's wrath, symbolizing the final reckoning and the consequences of sin. Although the apple is widely linked with the forbidden fruit in various cultures, the grape holds greater significance in illustrating key biblical themes of blessings, productivity, and judgment. This is just one theory about the forbidden fruit. Grapes, with their profound meanings, present an interesting and meaningful possibility. If you have different suggestions, please leave a comment below. Some scholars speculate the forbidden fruit could represent something else, such as sexual temptation or even improper speech. The Wisdom of Solomon. A book in the Catholic Bible suggests that temptation is the root cause of death and suffering, with the forbidden fruit symbolizing the desire for knowledge beyond God's prescribed limits. Christian and Jewish theological writings. Many biblical scholars consider the forbidden fruit a symbol of human autonomy and the craving for control over good and evil, rather than following God's divine will. Jewish mysticism texts. In Kabbalah, the forbidden fruit can represent hidden or secret wisdom that humanity is not yet ready to grasp, with the pursuit of such knowledge causing disharmony. If you have any theories about this, feel free to share them in the comments. Thank you for watching until the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any future fascinating content. See you in the next video.